Okay, guys, welcome to part 2, I guess, of me just talking my mouth off. All right, we're back in the Honda Insight. This is a touring model, Crimson Pearl. If I were a younger guy, I'd say the ladies would like it, but I'm an older guy, and, well, the ladies don't like me, and therefore I don't think they like my car much. So be it. All right, I'm going to give you a general look at some of the rest of this car. Here you're going to see is in the touring model, you will, and let me get my ugly face out of there, will get this dimming mirror, something I do like. It also has these buttons underneath, which you can set to open up your garage doors. As you see, I have 2 of them. Wonderful to have it. Great to have. Auto dimming mirror, something you can add as a separate, so even if you get the lower trim models, you can add one of these. A little pricey, worth it in my opinion. You have various buttons up here. I'm not going to talk too much about them. Well, one of them are like an emergency button. And the other one's also, you know, concierge if you want to talk to Honda. You get an app and you get like 3 months of free trial of these things, including the ability to remote start your car, find it, etc., etc. I'll get into that in a little bit. I'm a little annoyed personally. With Ford, I get most of that for free, not the concierge or the emergency thing, I don't believe, but the ability to remote start my car and lock it from a distance, I don't have to pay anything on my Ford Fusion Energy. Honda wants $110 for me to be able to remote start my car from my phone and lock it from my phone. There are a few other features are added, but $110 for 1 year is a lot of money, and they automatically renew it, which means you got to keep an eye on it if you get pissed off and don't want to do it. Maybe I shouldn't have said that word. That's probably going to get me demonetized. I'm not going to monetize this. What am I talking about? Who cares? All right, let's go on to the rest of the look of the car real quick. That's, of course, your main screen. We'll get into that later as we go through it. Basic climate controls, you know, auto shift. Let me start up the baby again. Get them nice and happy again. There we go. And let's see what it's going to say. It's going to Honda Link. And what's it going to talk about now? Yes, and here's your Moni disclaimer. Shut that off and go down to the rest here. We'll get into that later. Basic settings here. I mean, you've got your heated seats, left and right, which is very nice. I find it very nice to warm my tush on it. I'm not even going to explain what these are. Of course, this is your rear defroster. It's good. It also gives you heated mirrors, something really nice that's added on to what is basically a mid-lower line level car. Yeah, it's the touring model version of it, but this car, I mean, you know, I got it for like $25,800. I mean, that's before tax, and title, and, you know, and all the other things you get reamed on. But I think it's nice to have that added on there. Also, you got your selector here. Most people are a little weirded out by this. I like it. I find it very easy. You know, basically, you want to go in reverse. It gives you your reverse view and so forth. We'll get into that later as we go through the computer. You know, your neutral and, of course, your drive, just as normal. I'm going to put it back in the park. Again, basic stuff. Electronic parking brake. Your Econ, Sport, and EV mode. I never use EV mode. The thing pretty much basically goes into electric vehicle mode on its own. Basically, the car keeps its battery at 3 to 5 bars up. And EV mode doesn't give you much distance. You're better off just being an Econ or regular mode and let the car decide what to do. Sport mode, though, does make a difference. Your dash will turn kind of red. Over here, you'll see there's green here. That'll, if I go into sport mode, I don't know if it'll do it now. Yeah, turns red, and the car gets all sporty. Car tends to just respond a little bit faster that way. Gives a nice little roar. Which is pretty surprising, considering the engine noise from this car is not exactly the best. But when you zip it, it does pretty well. Here's something that I do like a lot and I use, and I just used it today when I went and got the car washed. That's the brake hold button. Let's say you go to McDonald's. You're a hungry, white, fat mammal like me, and you want to eat fat food like McDonald's, and there's a huge line. Well, you pull up to the line, you hit your brakes, and you press your brake hold. You press your brake hold, enable brake hold, you got to put on your seatbelt. See, the car won't let you do anything. I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Honda wants to take care of you, that's fine. Either way, you turn on your brake hold. What happens then is that brakes engage. From this point on, and this is great in regular, in heavy-duty stop and go, I mean, really, like bad traffic in the highway, like Los Angeles or something. But let's say you're sitting there, you're trying to get to the drive-thru, you're driving slowly, you're stopped. You can take your foot off the brake, the car will just sit there and wait. When you're ready to go, you press your gas. You press your gas, you go forward. When you come to a complete stop, you hit the brake. When you come to a complete stop, you take your foot off the brake, the car holds itself. So you don't have to leave your foot on the brake the whole time. That is wonderful. It makes your foot less painful and so forth. It's nice. It's a nice plus. I like it. You don't like it? That's okay. I think it's a nice plus to have. Oh, one thing I wanted to point out on this is, of Honda. See this? You got this nice, cool car with almost all LED everywhere, and you got these crappy lights. No, no, no. Now, there is a way to switch them all to LED lights if you want. You go to the Honda Insight forums. You can find them on Google if you look them up. You can change this. That's silly. Put LEDs. My Ford Fusion Energy has LEDs in there. They look nice. LEDs. Thank you. We're going to get right back down here. Oh, I'm going to look at these guys here. There's my thumb drive, and that's my hookup for my phone. Am I even going to put it? I don't even know what to aim. There we go. Aimed right there. Very good. And a power outlet so you can plug into a power outlet. Thumb drive has all my music on it. I know, why not play it through your phone? It's easier through the thumb drive for me. I like to scan back and forth through the song. It's a little easier. I think Honda missed a prime opportunity here of making this a wireless charger so you could just lay your phone in there. I have an S9 Plus, and it holds this phone very nicely and fully, even though it's in a big case and everything. So, very nice space. There you go. You got your cup holders and so forth. They slide back and forth. Really love this. You can take them out. That slides back and forth. Lift it up. Got a little tray in here and some more room. One thing keep in mind, when you're in this position, you can't lift this. You can force it, but I don't recommend it. You're going to end up breaking it. One thing I don't like about the Honda so far that I'm going to tell you, the plastics are very prone to scratching, and they don't clean up easily in that aspect. You scratch the plastic, you're replacing it if you want it fixed. I had some scratches done here, and here, and here. And while the parts weren't expensive, replacing part of it was extremely expensive. And it's not something that most people are going to be able to do. You got to rip the whole dash apart to fix some of it. They're very easy to scratch. Be careful. Just wanted to forewarn you about that, and it is one of the caveats. I believe you can't even see them on here, but I believe there's slight scratches on this. And all I do is put my little soda cans in there, and if they're already getting scratched, that's a little ridiculous. But they're nice, soft-feeling plastics, so that's probably, the caveat of having soft-feeling plastics. Now we're going to go to the computer. This is where we're going to get a lot of information. I'm going to try to show you how the computer works on this thing. Physical buttons. Awesome. Back. Home. This is for your brightness, and I'm going to get into that. It's stupid. A real volume and power button. You can turn it on and skip your tracks for your sound. No CD player. I would normally have lamented that, but I've grown up and I can deal with it. You'll have a nice listing, beautiful listing of apps, and you can just keep going and scrolling for more apps back and forth. We're going to go back a little bit here. All right. There are more apps that are not showing here. One nice thing, I'm trying to remember, if you hold down, you'll get to this whole screen where you can start dragging things around. Moving it to different spots and so forth. So you can basically design this the way you like it. You can even change some of your quick connections up here. I have phone, navigation, and my USB one, which is my music stick, so I can jump back to it quickly. So what we're going to do here, I even gives you little tips on how to do it. You press the tips button, yeah, that's how you do it, and so forth. I'm going to click done. I like it the way it is. I got various setups here. Navigation, phone, messages, mail. Yes, it will connect to your email address, and yes, it will show you your email. It'll even read it out to you. Very nice. I got my AM/FM set up here too, as well as my car music, my smartphone. My smartphone's not directly connected. When I connect it directly into here, for me, since it's a Samsung, it will show Android Auto. Very nice. Nice thing on Android Auto, you see here, you get the voice connected here. If you press it now, it goes to this option menu right here, which is for, basically the Honda's option. And of course, now it doesn't understand a word I'm saying. Navigation. See if it does it. Yeah, see, it heard all that crap and it doesn't know what to do. We're just going to cancel it. But what's really nice, I'm going to hit my cancel button, and maybe I'm not. So you know what? We'll do something easier. We're going to hit back. That's why I love these physical buttons. If you hold that button down and you have Android Auto on at the same time, if you hold it down for a long period of time, it jumps to Google. And therefore, it'll go to the Android Auto instead. So you can choose either one while you're driving. Wonderful setup. Props to you. Ford Fusion. You got Android Auto. You don't have anything else working. Basically, you either use the Android Auto or you use their stuff. I'll go further into that when I get into the Fusion, if I decide to do a detailed thing on the Fusion. These are just your basic menus. I'll show you some of the things that are on here. Bluetooth audio, system updates. Yes, you can wirelessly update. I've never had an update happen. I can't tell you how it goes. No information there. We're going to leave it at that. And then you can have an AT&T hotspot. You do have to pay for it. You get it complimentary at first. And then, of course, the complimentary don't last long. It has this nice thing called an app installer, but there are no apps to install. And nobody's broken into this system. And I don't think anyone's broken into any of the Honda systems. At least nobody is willing to talk about it. So if you think about installing your own apps, well, it is an Android, and it seems to be Android 6. I guess your mileage may vary. So really up to you. Now, I'm trying to figure out the best way to go through this, give you an idea. What I'm going to do, I got your audio off, showing some of the stuff that's hooked up, showing your battery life on your phone, your wireless connectivity. I'm near my house, so it's connecting wireless. No, that's not my wireless. It's question mark because it's not connecting my wireless for some reason. Don't know. We'll look into that later. Press into this. You get this pretty little screen. And you got a settings. You can change the settings on that. Daytime, clock face. Not going to get into that. Who cares? It's kind of silly. We're just going to go back. And, of course, you got physical buttons, so you don't have to worry about anything else. Navigation. Garmin navigation. Some people don't like it. I like Garmin navigation. I find it easy to read, easy to use. Voice is easy to understand. Really isn't much to go deep into it. I don't see any reason to give you a long discussion on Garmin navigation. It's very similar to having your own personal Garmin. It works very well. It's not 100%, but it does work very well. I'm not going to go, like I said, I've decided I'm not going to go too deep into the navigation. It's kind of silly. But navigation is there on the Touring, and that's part of what you're paying the extra money for. There, go back now. Messages. Yes, you can get instant messaging on here. You don't have to use Android Auto. And now it's loading some of the messages that come in. Uh-oh. That's a guy I work with. You're not supposed to see his name. All right, I'll move it away so you don't have to see Brandon Geistert's name. He's a great guy. You're going to love him. Either way, yes, you can, you can play messages and so forth. In this case, he said something sucked, and generally
sucked.
It'll talk it to you while you're driving and so forth. You can call them, you can reply, but I don't think you can reply with voice. Basically, you can create messages when you're sitting still. It'll give you a keyboard. However, otherwise, it's just going to be canned messages. If you want to do voice messages and so forth, or, you want text, speech to text and so forth, you're going to have to use Android Auto. Either way, it's nice to have. It will tell you when something comes in. It'll even tell you when a new email comes in. Very cool. Very cool. We're going to go back and get out of there. It actually works reasonably well. Sorry, Brandon, put your name up there. Maybe I should redo that. I don't know. We'll worry about it. If you guys don't want to harass him, he's a nice guy. He's a cool dude. You got your phone. Basic phone stuffs. Favorites, contacts, keypad. So forth. Keypad's not going to be available while you drive. You can do most of it through voice commands, either through Android Auto, or even, it works pretty well on the car. It'll do it voice command there, or you can do it on the menu that's right there on your main driver screen up here, as I pointed out once before. Show your contacts, keypad. I'm not going to show my contacts. I don't see any reason. You guys, if you guys hate me, I don't want you attacking everybody I know. Smartphone connection, again, that would say Android Auto, if Android Auto. AM, FM, that's pretty self-explanatory. That's my car music. Not going to play that. I'm not looking to get in trouble. If I do turn on, I'll have to turn it off. You have your Bluetooth audio. You set up your Bluetooth audio. Well, here's trying to play right off of my cell phone. Nothing set up for that aspect of it. It works for my calls and all that. Very simple. You can change your device. There's also a sound button. We'll get into that when we get into the music section of the premium audio system. And yes, it is kind of premium, but it's not premium enough in my opinion. We got system updates. You can choose via wireless. Let's even see if we have checking for updates. Does it even connect anything? Might be checking through my cell phone. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not very sure about how that one. Your system is up to date. So the answer is yes, it does. It checks however it needs to. And my system's up to date. There hasn't been an update yet for this car. We'll get into settings later. You got your power flow. Shows your car, battery, 360-mile range, current drive. It's really very self-explanatory when you see it. Just wanted to give you an idea what it looks like. Trip computer. I don't do trip computers. You want to set a computer to try to work. The darn car tells you your gas mileage and everything that's going on, and it's relatively accurate. I don't see any use for it. It's just, I think people expect them to have one. Honda Link. That is an interesting little setup. That's part of your wireless connectivity and so forth. It's hooked to your cell phone, like the being able to start your car from a distance, being able to lock your car, being able to tell where it is, geofence, so people can, there's a whole bunch into that. I'm going to let you guys look into Honda Link yourself. This just tells you how you're doing with your Honda Link, you're connected, your active subscription status, and so forth. I'm going to let you guys look deeper into that yourselves. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer it if you send me an email. I'll answer whatever I can tell you about it. I can tell you I don't like its price. But, I told you I wore cheap black jeans, too, so I think that explains it. $8. Sirius XM. You get 3 months of free Sirius XM when you get this car. Very nice. I was very happy with that. I don't use Sirius XM that much, but I think I am going to probably update it. Oh, actually, I did update it. Did I do it? Yeah, I did it for this car. I updated it for this car because when I get home late at night and I have to drive through more residential areas for about 30 minutes, and I like to play my music loud, so I switched to the comedy channel on Sirius and listen to comedy. AT&T Hotspot, I'm not getting into that. I have no interest in that. We're not getting into it. All apps. App installer. We're going to show some of the Bluetooth audio, see if there's anything here that I don't have. Honda Link, navigation, messages, smartphone connection, power flow. Yeah, basically everything that there is to see is already there. So we're going to back out of there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start going into some of the settings. Give you an idea about the settings that this car has, so you know what's involved. Now, it's getting a little hot in here, so I'm going to lower the heat down, and I'm going to turn off the heated seat. Right, now we're going to go into our settings. We're going to start with system settings. Give you an idea what you can do with this car. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. Day and time, self-explanatory. Language, self-explanatory. Touch sensitivity, you got high and normal. I put it on high. I don't know why. I'm just going to do that. System volumes. I'm going to go into system volumes. You got your basic system volume, which I have set a little high. Navigation on guidance. Thank you. I need to lower that. That thing was screaming at me yesterday. So we're going to drop that down. Telephone calls, how loud that's going to be. That can go way up if necessary. And general system sounds like your beeps. You can set that to however you want. So we're going to hit OK, otherwise I won't remember. Reading and warning. Verbal reminders. If you want the thing, verbal reminder will play fasten seatbelt or remove the parking brake after driving begins. Yeah. On or off. I leave it on. What the heck. We got that information in there. All right. Configuration of instrument panel. This is what I was talking about before. You can choose which one you want first and how you want to do it, right? Forget it's scanning back and forth. You can turn ones on and off. Power and charge. Looks like I have that one off. I don't even know what that one does. Maybe we'll take a look at it. Eco drive, power flow. You can You can select an app to show in the instrument panel, and you can change configurations. So if you got different people, you can have different configurations on which one comes first. You can change the order of the apps too, which is very nice. As you can see up here, you have a reorder button right here, and you can change the order, and you can have different configurations. No need to go any deeper. I mean, you can turn them off and on ones that you don't want. Basically, I stick with certain ones. I like to have most of them on anyway, just for the heck of it. We'll get back out of that. So now you can see what you can do with that. All right, we're going to go down. Next one. Next is security. You got passwords. Don't know much about that. Trusted credentials. This is when we're getting into things that have more to do with the security of the main car itself. Let's see how the password works. Select whether the character shown the password is input. Yeah, off and on when you're adding putting in passwords. All right, that's what password means. Very simple. Storage type, hardware backed. I don't think you deal with that at all. Trusted credentials. I don't think this is something most of you are really even going to deal with. Allowing unknown sources. That's going to be good when people learn how to load apps into this car. Since nobody knows how to do that right now, we're not going to worry about it. Accessibility. Caption. All right. Hit our caption button. Set the value of caption on and off. I don't have the captions on. I've never used the captions. Can't comment it. I'm not going to give you much on that. I really wanted everyone to see everything that's available. Text-to-speech output. Current TTS engine, TTS service. Basically, it looks like that's what you get. I click it, and that's what you have. So I guess maybe this is if you're going to want to be able to change to different voices and so forth in the future. Probably more future stuff. Refuel recommend. Do you want it to recommend a refuel or not? I have that on. Yes, I do like it to recommend. I like it when the car talks to me a little bit. About. Legal information, model Android version 6.01. Dudes, you're way behind. We need to move up to a newer Android version. What's going on with that? Sorry if this thing's moving back and forth. I am not used to doing this. My arm is getting tired. I am an old man. Remember that. I am an old dude. All right, we're going to get back a little bit. We got factory reset. And, let's see, detail information. App manager. Okay, here's your app manager. I wouldn't even want to fool around with this for a second. I don't know what you can do with these. I'm not getting into it. We're going to leave it alone. Go back and get out of there. This is not something we want to get into. All right, so that's basically your system settings. Connections, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, smartphone connections. Wi-Fi is generally pretty simple. Yes, that's mine. It hurts when I pee. Yes, that's very funny. If you don't think it's funny, okay, it's not funny, but I think it's funny. That is my Wi-Fi connection. You can check your networking options if necessary. Bluetooth. Yep, it shows it's connected for music and phone. There supposedly is some bug about the music and the phone and how it runs. I haven't looked much into it. I haven't had much trouble, so I'm not going to get too deep into that one either. Smartphone connection. That's whether you want to have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto on and off automatically or not. Some people may not want Android Auto to engage ever. I like the ability for it to at least be available. So that's available. I'm going to get out of here. All right, next we go into display. All right, this is getting long. We're going to have to go into 3 parts. So I'm going to pause it right now. We're going to go to the next one.